Hello YouTube, welcome back to Bison's Aquarium. Today I wanted to show Jake's new look. The reason Jake got a new look is because I actually had to tear my tank down again and start all over from scratch. The reason for that is I got new flooring and new carpet I had to put in my house, in my living room. Originally I was supposed to just lay carpet, but when we got the floor up, when I got the floor up, I found that the floor was in pretty bad shape, so I ended up having to put a subfloor down also. And it actually helped me out because it made the floor stronger. I was kind of iffy on the floor. This is a mobile home, so you know, a 55-gallon fish tank is something you got to have a strong floor for. So we've got a new subfloor down, and I do have it located on the studs or the floor joists on the feet. So we're in good shape now. Plus, I wanted to make it more level. This side here was down a little bit, and it made the water line off, so I had to put some feet on underneath the feet on this side to bring it up. So now it's level completely, and we also added a new hood or lid on it. I liked the tile, but I couldn't get them straight to where they opened correct, and in the back I couldn't cut them because I didn't have a wet saw, so when you go to lift it, you couldn't get the filters out of your filter housing or filter pump. So I went ahead and made a new one, and I just used the same stuff that was left over from the flooring, which is just press board or OSB, and I thought, well, let's see what it looks like if I was to sand it and stain it. So we'll get a look at that here in just a second. And I worked on a shower door for a friend of mine, and he gave me all the leftover parts, and this front piece on the lid was with it, and I just made it for the front of this and put 3 screws in the front. And then it's got the Bison logo on it. This is actually the Bison Workshop logo, so Bison Workshop built it, so that's what we've got it. Now this is the blue one. The reason it's blue is because the printer was out of a certain color ink and it ended up blue. It's supposed to actually be camouflage. So it's blue camouflage instead of regular camouflage. So you have to forgive the noise. I'm frying chicken right now. But I'm going to take you off the tripod and show you Jake's new look. Let's turn the big light on, and hopefully that you can see what the top of that looks like. And I just stained it, and then I took black spray paint and just sprayed a mist around the edge of it. And I thought that looked pretty good. And then this here is just a thing that come off of the shower, and it looks really good. And then the bottom of it I painted black with 2 coats of black oil-based paint. And let me get a prop rod here. We got a prop rod here. Prop it up with. And Then we've got the Bison Workshop logo, which is my other channel. Check that out, guys. I do a lot of work. I've got 330, I think, something like that, videos. Alright, and then we just, I went and bought a 20-gallon tank, brand new, that had a bigger heater than the one that I accidentally bought that was only 100 watt. Yes, this 200 watt's still not a big enough one for it, but it's bigger than the one I had in it. So we're just kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. I found the green leaves at Goodwill, and I washed them really good. They're plastic, so I ain't got to worry about them dying, and I ain't got to worry about anything but cleaning them from time to time. And then I've got all the rocks, and the rocks are basically to hold the log down that I found outside that I was going to use to build a table or a bird bath or something I was going to use for a column. And I got to thinking, well, why the bark was coming off of it, so why not take all the bark off of it. I cut it down to 3 feet, and I took all the bark off of it, and I soaked it in my rain barrel, submerged underwater for about 4 days. And that got rid of all the bugs out of it. It either drowned them or they came out. And I thought it was kind of funny because after I stuck it in there and submerged it under the water, not any part of it was sticking up. Ants started coming out of it and crawling to the top of the thing to get out of the water. So I sat and watched them black ants do that for a while. But I thought that was a pretty nice touch, using the rocks to hold it down. And Jake seems to like it. And I kind of like it myself. And there's Jake, enjoying his little new tank, little new tank. I'll show you the tank that he was in. And there's Charlie. He's inside that hole there in that log. But I got some video of me submersing the camera in the water, and it was kind of tight, and I kept bumping into the glass and the log because it was really tight. But Jake was kind of wondering, what in the hell is this coming in here? So I'm going to show you my new tank that I got, which is only a 20. And I basically got it so that I could tear this down and put Jake and Charlie in it until I got this back up and running. So I'll show you that here as soon as I turn my chicken. Now this is my 20, the one I just got, and I'm going to tell you that water is crystal clear. Now what I did when I changed them is I took the water out of the 55 and filled this up with that same water. Alright, then the rest of the water, I'll show you what I did. Now this is what I used to keep the water. I have 4 5-gallon buckets, and I filled up the 20-gallon tank first, and then I put Jake and Charlie in the 20-gallon tank, which was simple as just taking them and moving them over there. I didn't have to acclimate them or anything because it was the same identical water. It was the same temperature, so it was as simple as just switch them over. Then the rest of the water went in the 4 buckets, and then what was left over I had to get rid of, which was not a problem because the 20-gallon tank and the little bit of water that was gone, that was thrown away, was going to be a water change anyway, eventually. So I kept the rocks, all my rocks and my plants and everything, the filter, cartridge, everything, in the buckets with the water that came out of here. And the gravel, same thing with the gravel, so that I didn't lose what little bit of algae that I had, or bio, or whatever you want to call it. So we're back to square one again, but at least I had a couple weeks of growth of the necessary things that we need in fish water. So I think it turned out pretty nice, and we're just going to give you a tour of the inside of the tank, of me taking the camera inside the tank, and watch how Jake acts when I did that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and the look at the new tank, or the new tank look, and the new lid, and hopefully this is it. We don't have to change nothing. Now everything can start growing in it and starting to take care of itself. The nitrate and the nitrite is pretty high right now, so it's just a matter of it kind of working itself out. Time will make it better. So just got to keep changing the water and stuff like that until that starts happening. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the new look. And you guys have a good one. Later.